Yo, what up everybody? It's me, Fitness65. I'm redoing this video. I didn't like how that video came out because I kind of rambled on the same stuff, but it did kind of turn out good, but I wanted this video to be better. This is just going to be a quick video giving my thoughts about, or just giving my thanks for thank you to Shawn Michaels for the memories and the moments. Last night on Raw, he gave this really good speech where he was talking about, he was giving his farewell and goodbye to the WWE, or well, pretty much his retirement speech on Raw. And for anybody who didn't cry or get choked up or emotional about it, then you are not really an emotional person, or you're not really that passionate about wrestling if you didn't cry or choke up for that, if you're a wrestling fan, because that was a pretty emotional speech, and I nearly almost cried watching that. I mean, because it was just so sad to see now that Shawn Michaels is not going to be a part of the WWE anymore. I mean, Shawn Michaels has always been my favorite wrestler, going all the way back to his Rockers days. You can even go as far back to his AWA days when he was part of the Midnight Rockers. I mean, these guys were amazing in the ring. They were having good matches with just about everybody. I forget the two guys that they had a match with that they took the titles from, but that was a pretty good matchup. It was violent, it was bloody, and it just showed that the Rockers were the team, and the AWA saw that, and they made the Rockers into a pretty good tag team, and they pushed them really good in the AWA, and then they just became real big in the AWA. And then when they came in the WWF after the second meeting with Vince McMahon or something like that, they just took off as the Rockers, as they were just having good matches with just about everybody. Everyone knew that Shawn Michaels was the star of the team. Many people thought it might have been Marty Jannetty that was going to be the star of the team, but everyone could see that Shawn Michaels just had the look of a single star, and someone you knew that there was going to be big things for him. And I mean, no one could argue with that, as he ended up becoming big success when he turned on Marty Jannetty, and then he went on with his Heartbreak Kid gimmick, and he had a pretty good run in 1992 and 1993. He had some of the best matches in 1993, well, except for the Mr. Perfect matchup, because that was disappointing. 1994, he had a pretty good year. He feuded with Razor Ramon and had some pretty good matches with Razor Ramon, and then he eventually had that ladder match which set the bar for how ladder matches are done, and how ladder matches are now in TNA and WWE, how they are now. I mean, what you see from TNA and the WWE is pretty much that match that Shawn Michaels had with Razor Ramon is pretty much responsible for some of the spots that you see in some of those matches, and it's so hard to kind of top that matchup. I mean, their 1995 SummerSlam matchup kind of topped that, but it was just so hard to kind of top what those two did, because those two just went out there, told a good story, used some nice psychology with the ladder, and they just really had a good matchup. And Shawn Michaels was pretty much my childhood hero growing up. I mean, I looked up to the guy. Now, before I started getting into Shawn Michaels, I was looking more up to Bret the Hitman Hart, because Bret the Hitman Hart was my favorite wrestler, and I kind of looked up to him. But also I looked up to Shawn Michaels because this guy was just amazing in the ring. I mean, this guy can go out there and have a good matchup. He was very passionate about the wrestling business. He wasn't slacking off when it came to wrestling in the ring. You tell him to go out there and put on one of the best matches that he could possibly have, and he'll go out there and do that. Or you tell him to get a good match out of somebody, and he'll go out there and do that. This guy just wasn't slacking in the ring, and he wasn't lazy in the ring. He went out there and he tried to prove to everybody how good of a worker he was, and that he was the best there is in the WWE, or when it came to wrestling. And that's certainly what he was. Is this guy was just so good in the ring. He told good stories in his matches. Like I said, he was able to carry good matches out of anybody, like a Diesel. I mean, when's a couple times you've seen a good match out of Kevin Nash? I mean, the only people you've seen that got a good match out of Kevin Nash are Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. I mean, you can't name anybody else that got a good match out of Kevin Nash except for those two guys. I mean, but Shawn Michaels was getting a lot more good matches out of Kevin Nash, and that's kind of hard to do, to get a good match out of Kevin Nash, because we all excuse me, we all know what kind of a worker Kevin Nash is. But Shawn Michaels was able to do that, and he was just such a good worker. He was able to cut good promos, and he was just a fun wrestler to watch, and one of those wrestlers that many wrestlers that are coming into the business, whether it be the indies or wrestlers who are sort of getting started in the WWE or TNA, they kind of look up to Shawn Michaels, and they kind of want to emulate his style of wrestling because of the type of wrestler he was and the type of matches he was having. I mean, look at a guy like AJ Styles, someone who probably looks up to Shawn Michaels and wants to kind of emulate his style. Someone like Bryan Danielson and other guys, just other names like that. Those are guys who kind of want to emulate and sort of be like Shawn Michaels, and that just shows you how much of an impact this guy has had in the wrestling business. And like I said, it's going to be a shame to not see Shawn Michaels anymore, because like I remember when he came back from his back surgery, after he injured his back at WrestleMania 14, he came back and he had that fantastic match against Triple H, and no one thought that Shawn Michaels was going to be able to bring the intensity and bring some of the matches, brings out some of the good matches that he had in the past, but he was able to prove those doubters wrong, and he was able to do that from 2002 all the way to now, and he never missed a beat. The guy just held his own in the ring, and that's what I like more about Shawn Michaels. And like I said, as someone who looked up to him, watched his matches, and kind of wanted to be like him, even though my dream was to be a wrestler, I kind of looked up to him and looked at his matches, and I kind of wanted to emulate his style and kind of be like him if I was to be a wrestler. I mean, it's for that kind of thing, or to kind of look up to those things or wanting to be like him. It's a shame to kind of see him gone from the wrestling business, and to know that every time you watch Raw, you're not going to see him on the TV screen. It's a shame to see that, but like I said, hopefully he does come back. But again, from his speech last night, even though I saw like half of his speech, but I didn't get to see like towards the end of his speech, because I was talking to a girl, and you kind of know how that goes, and I was talking on the internet and stuff, so you know how that goes when you get distracted with the girl and everything else kind of is in tune. I was still able to catch what he was saying, and he cut a good promo and cut his final farewell speech. It was just good to see that, and like I said, it's going to be a shame to not see him in there and have good matches that he was having and cut good promos and stuff like that. But we'll just remember him for the moments that he brought us, or the memories that he brought us, whether it was him being #1 at the Royal Rumble and then winning the Royal Rumble, I think in 1995, or winning back-to-back Royal Rumbles, or putting on that classic matchup against The Undertaker at Hell in a Cell, or I forgot the name of that pay-per-view, but it was the Hell in a Cell matchup, the first Hell in a Cell matchup, where he got the shit kicked out of him, but you still felt for him, and you still kind of liked him for taking that kind of punishment. Or whether it was the matchup he had with Undertaker or Kurt Angle, well, Undertaker from last year or Kurt Angle, or the match that he put on a clinic with against the Undertaker at WrestleMania 26. You just knew you were going to get something good out of Shawn Michaels. And like I said, it's going to be a shame to not see this guy anymore in the ring, or cutting promos, or doing skits with DX or anything like that. But like I said, like the title of the screen of the video says, thanks for the memory, Shawn Michaels. Thanks for giving us DX. Thanks for putting on some good matches. Thanks for just showing us that it doesn't matter what size you are or how big you are. It just matters what kind of heart of a wrestler you are, and how well and how much passion you have for the wrestling business. And that's what you showed us in the ring. But yeah, that's just pretty much my video. Just giving my thoughts, memories, and moments of Shawn Michaels. Rate, comment. Also tell me what your memories and moments of Shawn Michaels are, and what your favorite matches of his were. Wanted to do a top 10, but like I said, it just does no justice, because he has so many good matches that it'd be hard to do a top 10 out of all those matches. So yeah, I just wanted to do this video. Thanks for the memories for Shawn Michaels. Thank you for the memories, and we're going to miss you not being in the ring. And yeah, that's just pretty much it. Fitness 65 out. Remember, rate, comment, give me your thoughts, your memories, your matches, and I'm out. Peace.